The paraquat murders were a series of indiscriminate beverage poisonings carried out in western and central Japan in 1985. The drinks were placed in and around vending machines where the victim would consume a beverage of their choice. Every single drink was poisoned with the herbicide paraquat dichloride, except for one case which was poisoned with diquat. The most targeted beverages were the energy drinks Oronamin C and Real Gold. The first known case was on April the 30th in Fukuyama. At least 12 died and 35 became seriously ill, in what is possibly the deadliest product tampering case in history. Warning labels and leaflets were posted around Tokyo and on many of the 5.2 million vending machines across Japan. Police were unable to gather any evidence about the murders, and the case remains unsolved. Or is it? Well, the first victim was poisoned on April the 30th, 1985. The victim drank a bottle of Oronum C, a vitamin energy drink, that was left on top of a vending machine in Fukuyama, Hiroshima Prefecture. He fell ill and died on May the 30th. The bottle was laced with paraquat dichloride, a herbicide used to control weeds. Paraquat is a highly toxic chemical to humans and can destroy the body in days, and in some cases, just hours. At the time, it was widely available in Japan because it could be bought without a prescription or identification. However, those who bought it needed to prove that they were using it for agriculture purposes. It was used by a total of 1,402 people to commit suicide in Japan in 1984. At the time, Otsuka Pharmaceutical, who made Oronum C, had a buy one get one free promotion of the drink to combat low sales among young people. It was especially popular among middle-aged men in Japan at the time. Taking advantage of the promotion, the criminal laced Oronum C bottles with paraquat and placed them in and around vending machines to make customers think they got the promotion. The poisonings primarily occurred in western and central Japan and Tokyo. Oronum C and the energy drink Real Gold were the primary drinks targeted, though some also died from drinking Coca-Cola. One of the poisonings used diquat instead of paraquat, so this could have potentially been an entirely different criminal committing a crime. On September the 5th, 44-year-old executive Takashi Sakai drank 2 vitamin drinks which he died from 6 weeks later. On September the 11th, 52-year-old Haruo Otsuo drank from a free bottle of Oronum C in Tokyo. He died 52 hours later. On September the 25th, a man in the western prefecture of Wakayama was hospitalized after falling ill, and on September the 26th, a 40-year-old woman in the western prefecture of Shizuoka fell ill. Either Takashi Sakai or a 17-year-old girl from Saitama were the last victims of the murders. What was the response to this string of attacks? While the police had no leads, it was believed that the crimes were organized and executed by a single person. The police also noted how the crimes had no targeted or consistent victims, making it impossible to establish a motive. The culprit was never caught on security cameras and left no physical evidence. 2 of the manufacturers of the most targeted soft drinks, Coca-Cola Japan and Otsuka Pharmaceutical, said they had not received any threats or extortion attempts. On September the 27th, the National Police Agency in Tokyo declared preparations for a nationwide campaign to prevent further poisonings. Police issued leaflets throughout the city. They warned customers to inspect vending machine slots, suspicious containers, and tampered beverage caps, warned vending machine operators to check their merchandise, and urged stores selling poisonous substances to clamp down on the substances being bought that could potentially be used in these type of crimes, and if they were to be sold, to ensure they kept accurate records of who it was that purchased them. Japanese Soft Drink Bottlers Association spokesman Takeo Mizuchi, butchered that name, shifted blame onto victims. He expressed how customers should notice broken seals, stating that, and I quote, "If only consumers were more cautious, they would have seen that some tampering had been done." Despite his statement, Mizuchi issued 1.3 million warning stickers to be placed on vending machines across Tokyo. Warnings were posted on many of Japan's 5.2 million vending machines by both vending machine operators and drink companies. Customers were also advised to throw away any free drinks they got from the machines. The National Soft Drink Manufacturers Association placed warnings as advertisements in major newspapers. Vending machine manufacturers also planned to install lamps on dispensers that would light up if the slots were tampered with. The Chicago Tribune reported that experts in various fields at the time of the crimes speculated them to be a manifestation of Japan's orderly, intense, and work-oriented society. Hiroaki Iwao, a Tokyo professor of criminal sociology, said, and I quote, "It is not uncommon for Japanese who live under tremendous pressure, both on the job and in overcrowded communities, to let out their frustrations by hurting someone else," insinuating that the crimes were an outlet of relief for the criminal. Additionally, Susuma Oda, a mental health specialist at the University of Tsukuba, suggested the crimes to be motivated by adrenaline rushes and a sense of superiority in imagining victims struggling. What was the aftermath? By December the 8th, the spree killed at least 10 and made 35 seriously ill. In 2012, CBC News reported the death toll may be as high as 12, which would make it possibly the deadliest product tampering case in history. It was also theorized a number of deaths were from copycat killers, or people attempting to poison themselves in a method imitating the murders. The case had no DNA evidence, and the culprit was never caught. However, if apprehended, they of course could still be held legally liable, as Japan abolished the statute of limitations for murder in 2010. In 1986, adjustments were made to paraquat and diquat to make it less toxic, though by 2002 it still accounted for 40% of pesticide poisoning deaths. A potential copycat crime happened in December in Mie Prefecture. Containers of milk served in schools were tainted. In 1998, Japan had another wave of drink poisonings in vending machines, as well as convenience stores. There was also a case of paraquat poisoning in 2019 in Akita Prefecture. Now, if you enjoyed this retelling of this case, please make sure to like and subscribe, and comment down below any recommendations for cases you would like us to cover, preferably obscure. And of course, rest in peace to all of the victims of this horrible crime spree.